Hello everyone, welcome back to Math Nerd and where we make math super fun. So today we are going to learn about percentage in the easiest way if possible. Okay, let's go. This is the sign of percentage, right? So you already know what's the percentage sign or this is the percentage sign, right? So we have to know what is percentage. This is 100. Okay, so I'm going to say in a word, in just a word, a percentage is just a way of saying out of 100. A percentage is just a way of saying out of 100. So the symbol of percentage is like this. This is the symbol of percentage. So let's break it down. Let's say 5%. We already said the simple way of percentage to say is out of 100. So 5% means 5 out of 100. 25% means 25 out of 100. So what is 75% means? 75% means obviously 75 out of 100. Let's say again, a percentage is just a way of saying out of 100. Out of 100. Keep it in your mind that so 1% means what? 1% means 1 out of 100. Let's say you have 100 chocolate, a lot of chocolate you have. You have hundreds of chocolates. So you ate 50 out of them. How many you ate? 50 out of them. So what remain? 50. So this is 50-50, right? You already know. Whenever you are going to take a real life example, then it's quite easy to get things right. So you have 100 chocolates and you ate 50. The remaining chocolates is 50. So write it down like this. 50 out of 100 you already ate, right? So if you divide these things, you already know the 50 out of 100, what does it mean? Half, right? So what is half? You already ate half of them, and half means 0.5, right? If you times 0.5 with 100, you will get 50. And whenever you are going to times a decimal number with 100 and you get a whole number, you can write like this 50%. Okay. Uh, I will I will say these things later again. I will explain all the things, but keep in just to say things that the way of show how to show percentage. Let's say again 2%. What is 2%? You say what is 2%? 2% definitely 2 out of 100, right? You can divide these things. You know how to simplify a fraction. So this is a fraction. So you can simplify these things. You can divide 100 with the 2. So if you divide 2 with 2, it will be 1. And if you divide 100 with 2, it will be 50. So 1 out of 50. This is the answer, right? So how to express a percentage? To express a percentage, you just have to keep it in your mind that percentage means out of 100. Whenever you are get something like with a percentage sign, you just have to say this is out of 100. If you see 75%, you will say 75 out of 100. If we go to real life example, so look around you, we use percentage in everyday's life, like every day. When you see 50% off in a shop, yeah, that's half price, right? So when you get 80% in your test, that means you did great, 80% of your test. And when you see phone battery says 20%, no, It's almost dead, right? So let's say we have a big sale up to 70% off in a shop. So what you will do, you will go run to that shop and you will start shopping from there. So let's say we get a offer in our nearest shop and we are going to buy some things there. Now you are going to buy a t-shirt. So the price of the t-shirt is £50. Now you have to find out what's the 70% of that 50. Keep it in your mind. You just have to calculate. Without calculation, you won't get the percentage. I mean, you won't get the off. If you can calculate this math, then you will get the what? You will get the offer. So the condition to get a 70% off from that shop is if you can calculate in a correct way, then you will get the off. So now let's say we already know what does 70% means, right? You already know how to write 70%. 70% means 70 out of 100. You definitely know what does 70% means, 70 out of 100. Now, what you have to find out, you have to find out what's the 70% of that £50. Okay, so you already write down that what does 70% means. 70% means 70 out of 100. Now find out 70% of that 50. So you already write 70 out of 100. That means you can write what does 70% means. Now find out 70% of 50. That's the thing. That's how you will write everything. So this is the easy way. So you get what? You get a fraction. Here, you get a fraction to time with a whole number. So what you have to do? If what does fraction means? Fraction means 70 divided with the 100, right? So find out what does 70 divided with 100 means. So can you divide 70 with 100? No. So get a decimal and put a 0 there. And now you know 7 times 100 is 700. So you get 70 out of 100 means 0.7 and that 50 here. Okay. Now you know how to times the whole number with the fraction. You already know with the decimal, right? So 50 times with zero point 0.7, decimal 7. So from decimal chapter, we know how to times a number with a decimal number, right? So omit the decimal, keep it in your mind. Now times the 50 out with the 7. So 50 times 7 is 35 and put the 0 there. Now you know how many place values there after decimal, one place value. So put the one place value from the left to right. Left to right. Sorry. Sorry. It's right to left. This is the right and this is the left. So right to left, one place value, two place below, and three place below. So you have to put one place below. So if you put one place below there, so you will get 35 from there. It's very easy, quite easy, right? So 35.0 after decimal, there is no point to write 0 there, right? So it will 35. Yes, you got the right answer, you got the correct math, and now you will get the offer. So it's a very simple thing how to calculate a offer from a sub, right? Let's say again, let's do another math so you will understand properly, or you can do one more thing that go back and do this math again. Or I'm going to do another one. Let's say now that we are if you want to change your percentage offer, then you can change or keep it in the same offer. Now say you are going to buy a chocolate cake or a cake. The cake price is 125. It will be pound, right? So now let's say 70% of 125. So what does 70% means? 70% means 70 out of 100. And you have to find out 70% of that 125. So you have to times it with the percentage. You have to times the real number, I mean the asking number with the percentage. So you already know what 70 out of 100 means. 70 out of 100 means zero point 0.7, and you have to times it with 125. So again, we are going to working out this thing. 7 times with 125, we omit the decimal and keep it in our mind, our head. So 5 times 7 is 35, 3 in our head. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 3 is 17, 1 in our head. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 1 is 8. So that's the whole number. And how many place values after decimal? 1. So you have to put the place value there. So it is 87.5. That's it. Let's say another one. Now you are going to buy a book. The book price is £85. And this time for the book, you will get, let's say, 60%. Or let's say you will get 30% from that book. Now, you already know what does mean 30%. 30% means 30 out of 100. And you have to find 30% of that book price. The real book price is the real price of that book is £85. So 30 out of 100 means 30%, and you have to find the 30% of 85. Now, do the math. 30 divide with 100. Why? Because we know what does fraction means. Fraction means we have to divide the numerator with the denominator. So the denominator is 100 and the numerator is 30. So the numerator is less than the denominator. So we have to put a decimal there and put a 0 there. And 3 times 100 is 300. So 30 out of 100 means decimal 3 times 85. Now you already know what does it mean. 85, we have to times 85 with only 3 because we put the decimal in our head. Now 5 times 3 is 15. Keep 1 in our head. 8 times 3 is 24 and plus 1 is 25. That's it, 255. Now how many place values after decimal? This is 1. So put the place value there. So 25.5. This is 25.5. So after 30% discount, the price will be 25.5. That's it. That's how you will calculate uh, calculate the value. So 30% of 85 is 25.5. I'm not saying that what you will get, well, I mean, how many pound you will get after the discount. Okay, that's it. That's how you calculate a percentage. So you know how to calculate these things. Now you will get some questions on the screen. Pause the video and try to solve those questions from that things.
Adding or subtracting, divide and multiply. Math is a hero, and I will show you why. Solve problems in your sleep, do shapes standing on your head.
I think you already get the answer, but I'm going to solve these three for you. So, what's the first question? The first question is, what is 50% of 25? So, what you have to do? You have to write the 50% as fraction. I mean, what is percentage means? 50 out of 100. And what do you have to find out? 50% of 25. So you have to times that value with the percentage, right? Now you have to find out the 50 of out of 100. So 50 division of 100. So you have to put a decimal, 0 there, 5 there, and 500, 0. So this means 0.5 times 25. Now times it 25 with 5 because we are doing multiplication of decimal. 5 times 5 is 25. 2.5, 5 times 2, 10, plus 2 is 12. 125. How many place values there? 1. So put the 1 there. So it will be 12.5. So what is 50% of 25? It's 12.5. Next question is, what is 25% of 75? Write down 25% means what? 25% means 25 out of 100. And what you have to find out? Well, you have to find out 25% of 75. Now, work out these things. You have to divide 25 with 100. So you can't divide 25 with 100, so you have to put a 0 there and decimal there. Now, 2 times 100 is 200. Then you will get 50. So as you put decimal there, you can put another 0 there. So 5 times 100 is 500. So you get decimal 25. Now times with 75. And work out with this multiplication. 75 times 25. So 5 times 5 is 25. Doing that. 5 times 7, 35 to 37. And then 5 times 2, 10, 0 there, 1 in hand, 7 to 14, and 1, 15. And then 5, 7, 8, 1. Now, how many place values there? There is two place values after decimal, so you have to count two place value from right to left. Now, put the place values there, so it is 18.75. So what is the value of 25% of 75? It is 18.75. And the last one is very easy one. What does it mean? 30% out of 100. So 30% means 30 out of 100 and times 120 because we have to find out 30% of 120. So same thing, 30 divide with 100. Put a decimal there, put a 0 there, and 3 times 100 is 300 there. So decimal 3 times with 120. So work out again, times with 3, 3 times 0, 0, 3 times 2, 6, and 3 times 1, 3, 360. How many place values there? 1, so put the place value there. So there is no point to write 0 after decimal, so it will be 36. That's it. That's how you can calculate percentage. Yeah, I think you get what it percentage mean, and you guys did amazing because I know you already solved these questions by pausing the video. So if you like this, hit a like button. See you for in the next lessons. Till then, bye.